What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new knife review for you. Let's get it. All right, guys, we're looking at a new option from Tenable. This is the Anomaly, and if you're not familiar, Tenable is Concept's budget offering, meaning that you're going to get budget materials on here, but you're going to get it with a really good build quality and a reputable company that has been around for a little while. What you have here with the Anomaly is you have a black washed Nitro V blade. So again, nice budget blade for the money. Typically these are going to be under 60, under 50 bucks or so. You're getting frag micarta on here. I love the blue denim. You're getting a steel fold over deep carry pocket clip. I don't know why they didn't make this reversible, guys. Totally, could have done it. Maybe just from the aesthetics, they're trying to keep it clean. I personally, on the budget knife, would have loved to have seen a reversible option. Just notch it out and let it sit in there. Even more so because this lays kind of flat, I think. I don't think it's notched. Yeah, doesn't look like it's notched, and just looks like it just totally screws down. Just looks like it would just be one extra screw hole there. Not quite sure why they did it that way. Liner lock in here, fully steel liner lock, easy access to the lock bar, very thin, slicey knife. It is smaller, but I am able to get 4-finger grip on here. Hang off the back a little bit. I will give it a pass for 4 fingers for sure. I do have very large hands, so that is a factor to be sure. The black wash on here, you can see it's already starting to show a little bit of signs of wear from where it's been cut with in the pass around. It was very slicey, guys. It had, I think it had a little bit of blemish when I did the initial pass through the catalog paper, but as soon as I moved to the cardboard, it had bite and it was moving through there with minimal resistance. It is a flat back, so the tip is up high, so the pinch grip wasn't the best I've ever seen, but I was able to get that to work. So in a pinch, it'll work. Access to the lock bar, as I mentioned, is pretty good considering it is a liner lock. They gave you a decent amount of access to be able to get in there to disengage that regardless of which way you like to disengage your knife. Detent is tuned perfectly. One means of deployment, flipper tab only. There's no jimping on here, but I haven't missed, so I am not going to complain too much about that. Would a couple of jumps been good? Sure. Would it have been better? I mean, yes. But as it works, as it is, it works. No real complaints. Very smooth on this one. Now, this does have race pockets in the steel liners. That's how Concept likes to do their bearings. And then you have, I believe, stamped bearings inside here, and the action's smooth. Like, this is actually a little bit smoother than I have seen on a couple more recent of their premium knives, and they do race washers with bearings instead of doing a race track on the liner itself. So I don't know if that plays a factor or not, but it does work really good. Really good action, man. I know I've flipped it like 100 times here while I've been talking. I think this is a fun design too. It almost has a little bit of a trail point to it, the way that it kind of sweeps up. Very katana feeling, and the frag on the G10 is good. It is definitely a harder G10, I'm sorry, micarta. It is a harder finished micarta the way that this one's done, and very grippy. It goes in and out of the pocket really good. The only thing that I've noticed is because it does have the button top screws, it does catch a little bit when you go to put it in the pocket. I've noticed a couple times it stops there and it won't go all the way in. So I wish they would have done flat screws. I think that really would have just been the fix for it. No lanyard pin, lanyard hole, or anything like that. I think you probably could on that last standoff put a lanyard in there because the blade doesn't come anywhere near it. So I think you could get away with just putting a lanyard on that. I don't know if that was the intent for that standoff to be a lanyard. I'm not going to say that it was because it doesn't kind of look like it. It's not that typical like straight peg style. It's matching the other standoff here. I imagine also too when you take these screws off that there's going to be at least one more screw back here with this type of construction. So again, a little bit different. I think they did that so that everything was in line. Aesthetically, it looks a little bit better. Let's do some size comparisons. We'll weigh it and then we'll wrap up final thoughts and impression, guys. All right, first two comparisons are going to be my Spyderco lightweights, and as you can see, the Anomaly is very much in line with the Para 3, more of that small to medium sized EDC be like very small end of medium. Let's do a couple more comparisons. All right, so we do have the Remet wild species out here with this Vivi X1, and you can see the anomaly is just a touch longer than the X1, which is giving you that little bit of extra space for that fourth finger to rest on, and it is smaller than the wild species. Let's weigh the knife and then we'll wrap it up. All right, we got the scale out. Let's cut her on and see what this one's coming in at. So 2.6 ounces on the anomaly, so very competitive with your lighter weight knives for sure, coming in under 3 ounces. Love to see that. Let's go ahead and wrap up the review. All right, guys, let's wrap up the anomaly review here. I grade on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Budget knives cap at 7. 7 would be perfection on a budget knife, and that's just because materials really limit that from being any higher on my scale. So keep that in mind when I give the final score on that. A lot of good here. There's a lot of things that I like, not too much that I don't. I think I am going to go 5.9 on the anomaly. Very unique aesthetic, very katana-esque feel to it. I don't love that the pocket clip wasn't reversible, and I don't love the fact that the flat screws weren't used to allow this to actually be fully deep carry. It does kind of trail off about here. With some of my thicker pants pockets, it stops it from going all the way in. I would have liked a little bit more access to the lock bar, so that would have been a little nice. Having said that, it works. It's a minor nitpick. I would have loved a couple jumps on the flipper tab if possible, just to ensure grip in case you're, sweating or something like that, pulling this out to use it. I feel like there may be a potential for slippage, but if you did a push button, I think that would really work. And actually, the push button, if I'm being totally honest, feels a little bit more stout in practice than it does for the light switch. I just don't like the way that it makes the joint feel to do the push button, so I do the light switch. It is one means of deployment. I think that some people would be like, flipper only. I would have at least liked to have some thumb studs to flip it open. I just don't know if that would have worked because they're trying to really keep this footprint for the carve out very minimal. As I say that, it is a little tight for me with the large hands there. I hang off the back. Thankfully, they chamfered it down, so it actually is not uncomfortable to use. I do feel the butt of the pocket clip in the ergos as well, so that's another reason that it brings the score down just a little bit for me. But at this price point, if this is your budget and you really like this aesthetic, I can easily recommend it. Nitro V is going to be one you're going to want to strop after some hard use to keep that fine edge going, to keep it sharp long time. But action is smooth. Closing action is smooth. They did a good job with the micarta. It has some good grip to it. It's a solid budget offering. If you're interested in it, I am affiliated with Concept down below. Check out some of my other Concept videos if you're not really feeling this one. They do a good job of mixing up their offerings. They got a lot of different style stuff out there, which I do like about Concept. There are other links down there as well if you want to check out anything else. When you use the links, it helps the channel, but that's up to you. If you enjoyed the content today, on your way out, hit that like for me. It helps also. Special thanks for those that hung out to this point. Thank you to my channel members. You guys are amazing. I am out of here, guys. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.